Am I on? I'm just getting myself caught up. There we go. Good afternoon. Good morning. Sorry. Alright, how's it going? It's Dave for the Grand Old Team. Doing a live chat pre-match Natter for Everton versus Chelsea in Duncan Ferguson's first game as Chargers into the manager, following the sacking of Marco Silva. So starting lineup is as follows. I'm sure you can see it on your screen. It's just there. In goal, Jordan Pickford. Right back, Jibril Sidibe. Luca Dean at right back. Gylfi Sigurdsson is your captain. Michael Keane, Mason Holgate make up your centre backs, and midfield and striking however you want to run it. Theo Walcott, Morgan Schneiderlin, Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison and Iwobi make up the attack and midfield. In goal for substitutes, Stecklenberg, Leighton Baines, Cenk Tosun, Bernard, what's going on today? What am I? Tom Davis, Moise Keane and Oumar Niasse is also back in the side, which is a bit of a strange one. Let me just switch back to YouTube so I've got everything. So, really thought Moise would get... Moise Keane. Right, okay. Cheers, Dave. I was confused a little bit there. How's everyone doing anyway? All doing alright? Let's let you all catch up. I'm going to send this out. One sec. So everyone's only just getting told now that it's on. Okay, never mind. So while I'm waiting, just hold on a sec. I'm just getting some stuff. I'm in my kitchen, so gotta help the wife where I can. Dark Arts, good to see you back, mate. 16. Hello. So yeah, sorry about that. I had to sort something out for the wife while I'm in my kitchen. So you've seen the team news. Sigurdsson still captain. Yeah, it's a strange one. If it was going for anyone, I'd have said Luca Dean as captain. Bit of an odd one, definitely. I think he's gone. It's almost as if he doesn't want to change things too much, but knows he's going to have to. I think maybe he's had a word with some of these players and said, you know, I'm making you captain. I want to see a captain's example, much like Duncan used to try and instill. You know, it's I like to think Goodison would be bouncing anyway today. It's going to be a difficult game against a very good Chelsea side. You know, they got a really, you know, strong players, really quick players, really, you know, attacking players like Tammy Abrahams, Mason Mount, and soft lad Barkley as well. You know, don't get me wrong, Ross is a good player, and if he's playing, he could come back to haunt us. So I think we've got to be on our best today. I'm not surprised to see Morgan starting though. Is the only centre midfield that's fit. Yeah, definitely. I thought the same when I was looking at it. You know, who else is he going to play? I'm surprised he hasn't put a couple of the youth team in the on the bench. It seems a bit of a strange one, but you know, I think we just got to get on with it. I don't think we've got room to be moaning. we got plenty of room to moan. Sorry, it's more a case of we haven't really got much in the way of a side where we can pick and choose who we want to play all the time, because we haven't got a midfield. The midfield is basically picking itself and has done for the last few weeks, unfortunately, and that's just something. Yeah, we just got to get on with it. I'm surprised he hasn't played Moise Keane and Calvert-Lewin, as someone's already mentioned, and playing two up front. It's you wanted to see something. You wanted to see maybe something different. Maybe a 4-4-2, just going back to basics. You know, given players who haven't had that opportunity. I'm really surprised at Bernard being on the bench. I mean, as I've mentioned numerous times, he's the first name on the team sheet for me. absolutely vital to this side, and especially the way Luca Dean has been playing. He's been pretty poor as of recent weeks. In fact, since Wolves, he's been pretty poor. So, sorry, I'm switching between YouTube and I'm just making sure this is all working. I'd sooner have seen Bernard on the left with Luca Dean, but maybe he's probably trying to do that with Iwobi, unless Iwobi's playing through the middle. He haven't given a formation, just given us a bit of a there's your 11. We're not giving you the formation so you can have a go piss and moan like we used to when they used to show the old ones. We're trying to dig out that Chelsea side as well, just to see where we are as well. I feel the only chemistry on the pitch is between Luca Dean and Bernard. Then two were together. That's how we play. On the bench, mate. Again, it's either he's not pulling a stripe in training, or again it's one of them. I think this is a big game to throw him in the deep end to. Much like the derby, like bringing him on in the derby was probably better, but probably could have been on a bit sooner. It's one of them. Yeah, Luca Dean needs Bernard to help out. I'm on my own. This is what it's like when you're on your own. If Paul's next to me, this is so much easier. Where the fuck's Twitter? There it is. I do know how to use this phone. Let's see. Elsa. Right. Chelsea. Yeah. So Chelsea line up with Kepa, James, Kurt Zuma, Christensen, Aspilicueta as captain, Kante, Kovacic, Mount, Willian, Pulisic and Tammy Abraham. Subs are Caballero, Tomori, Emerson, Jorginho, Barkley, Hudson-Odoi and Batshuayi. Fucking hell. Love to have a bench that you can bring out like that, wouldn't you? Fucking hell. But I think if we'd have had our players fit, we end up having a bench like that where we got a strong bench. Sky Evans is a flat 4-4-2 formation. Okay, well that's fine. Then is it going to be Richarlison and Iwobi, or no? Sorry, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin up front? Is Lossell injured? It seems that way. I didn't even think Stekelenburg was still in the club. I thought he'd long gone, but maybe he must be injured. He must have picked up an injury. Odds on Barkley Horton, swap Morgan out 50 minutes for Keane and go 4-4-2. Well, from what I'm reading there, Tom, someone's mentioned snap-on fungus turret. They've said they've gone a flat 4-4-2 formation. So yeah, I would swap Morgan out for Keane and give him 40 minutes. Yeah, definitely. I'd even just see how the game's going. I would love Nias to score. Anything. I've always felt sorry for Nias. Because of he's just not being given another crack at it at all season, or even the better part of last season as well. It's just like, well, he's a player, and you need players to play on the pitch, and if we're missing that, and if we're missing a striking option, he's not the best in the world. We know that, and he's very unorthodox. It does remind me of Strachan an awful lot, where he just runs and runs and runs. But if he can come up with something, then yeah, he becomes a cult hero as well, doesn't he? It'd be interesting to see what Goodison's like today. We've gone from it being quite toxic, really, booze at half time, not happy with the manager's changes. Be interesting to see the atmosphere and the reactions to any substitutions that Duncan might make. This could be Duncan's one and only game in charge. So all I would say is get behind the team, get behind Duncan, because we know he will. I know full well every single Evertonian is absolutely praying for this. To go from player to captain to managing your side. That's the stuff that we all dream of as fans. We want to do that, and Duncan's been given this opportunity. And for him to get that now I think is absolutely brilliant. I don't know. It's got to be more. The atmosphere's got to be absolutely brilliant today, and we've got to get behind everyone. There's got to be no moaning asses and no complaints. If he makes a decision that's not a Marco Silva type decision. That's the decision that he is making based on his experience, rather than, oh well, what would Marco do? No, he's doing what he thinks would be right. So I think we've just got to get behind it. The football fan chat, Chelsea fan here. Best of luck today, though. Cheers, mate. Nice one. We hope we win. Thing is though, when Chelsea always come to Goodison, the games are always good. There's always a decent game. Fortunately, we've been on the winning end for the last few, which has been good. Or we've got a good result, which I'm happy to say. I think Chelsea coming at this time is probably a good time for Everton as well. I think we may struggle next week when we've got Arsenal and we've got United coming up and everything else. So to get this one in, I think we're in with a shot here. I think Chelsea are playing really well. Definitely think that. But I think this Everton side now will have that bounce, as the press will started calling it. That managerial positivity, and definitely with Duncan being in, that positivity around the club will just echo through the stands, and hopefully it'll put us in good form. Bellew in the dressing room for pep talk would be awesome as well. Yeah, alright. Either that, he's going to belt someone. So moving away from the team news for a moment. Last night I was hearing about Ancelotti coming in as a potential new manager. I'm all for that. I'm definitely all for that one. I was all over Poch. I was all over a few of the others. I wasn't. Vitor Pereira was the one that was coming up a fair bit as well earlier in the week, and I was all over that pre Martinez. And I was thinking, yeah, I'm all for that. And then it's all like his records since then, over in Germany, over in I think it was Dubai or Qatar or somewhere, and he's now in China. I think Ancelotti now, after Pochettino's rejected us, it'd take a lot to persuade Ancelotti to come. But if I was going to go for anyone, it would definitely be him. And it was also, I even thought about Gus Hiddink. I was reading he's coaching the under-23 China side now. So he's either retired or he's just not asked, and he's picking up massive coin just doing that. So that's up to him. Do you think the language barrier in defence has been a problem? I don't think so, because I think Luca Dean speak Spanish, which is helping, which should be helping Yerry Mina. I think we're trying to just talk to Michael Keane. And Sidibe should be. I'm sure Sidibe can speak English and French. So there's no disconnect between Luca Dean and Sidibe. And I think it's more. It might be something. It's a possibility, but it'd be interesting to find that out. But I don't think so, because I think they're all taking their English lessons now as well. I think throughout the whole lot. I know Silva wanted everyone to be speaking English, but it's different when you've never spoken English and you're having to learn it, and you're having to learn local dialect and stuff like that. It's probably harder for a footballer to learn it than an actual person, like a tourist or something like that. But it's a fair point. It's a good question. Players have got no one to blame for themselves. No one else to blame today. Silva has taken the flak recently, but now he's gone. They can't hide behind him anymore. That's a fair point. And I'd like to see now players putting the money where their mouth is. Wish we could start Keane. Yeah, definitely. But I think he's playing safe. But I also think he's being a bit more. He's being a bit wiser here. It's not a Silva choice. It's going off what Duncan believes is right for himself. And I think he's played a stronger side there for the moment. When you look back I'm just going to jump back to the bench. So Tosin, Bernard, Davis. The only one that I'm disappointed in is Bernard, because I'd have him in for Walcott, and Tom Davis probably comes in for Morgan Schneiderlin for me. But I think Tom's taken a bit of flack over the last few weeks in that he got a fair bit of stick against Leicester, a fair bit of stick in the derby as well. So to take him out of the firing line a little bit, I think it's more a confidence thing with Tom. So it'd be interesting to see where Duncan was thinking he doesn't fit in right away in this side. Schneiderlin's got to step up though. this is the time for Morgan Schneiderlin to actually think, right, okay, I'm given a chance here. I'm now starting the game. I've got to pull my tripe out, and a lot of it doesn't go. It's not just Schneiderlin. You know, it's everyone. It's the back four. It's Sigurdsson, who's just literally been a waste of a shirt, and the invisible man for so many weeks. For the second week in a row, or second time in a week, he's been given the captain's armband. He's got to take that responsibility by the balls and go with it. He's got to now, and you'll probably see it now. He'll score a Walesy, and everyone will be his mate. But that just papers over a crack for Gylfi Sigurdsson. He's got to be doing more. You know, I remember watching him at Swansea, and he was literally running games, absolutely running games. Bernard wasn't great against Liverpool. Set up the goal, the first goal. So, but he's been out so it's forgivable. Yeah, some of his touches to Dean were beautiful though. The two of them definitely have to play together. Ancelotti would be brilliant, but we'd need a load of cash for himself and a team who'd need to be rebuilt. It is, but the team needs rebuilding. But then you look at 3 players on that bench there who could easily be gone. And you look at that bench, you look at that starting 11, and you could pick off a number of players there. You go, actually, well, Sidibe's not going to be there next season probably. Theo Walcott, Morgan Schneiderlin, Cenk Tosun, Oumar Niasse, Martin Stekelenburg. These are players that probably won't be in the Everton side or at all come next year. They'll be sold on, end of contracts, and let go. So, you know, there's room to rebuild because there's spaces that need filling. So to give Ancelotti that opportunity, yeah, fine, go for it. I'm definitely all for Carlo Ancelotti. Has to be a statement appointment. His reputation of previous ones have been negative with poor stats. I want Poch, but think the ship also needs to be steadied. I don't want a defensive manager. That's it. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? I mean, we've gone from Martinez. Went from Moyes, who was defensive and dogged and got players out, you know, got the best out of players. Then we got Martinez, who basically just turned the team into an attacking side, score more than the opposition, basically. Then you got Koeman, who's a bit more pragmatic and wants to play it out the back and play a passing game, possessive, and slowed the game down to almost like a Dutch pace, almost. And then you've got Silva, who was just a culmination of everything, but didn't know how to work it into this side. So it's got to be now. There's got to be the right balance. There's got to be a manager who can basically work that entire back, middle, front, and just go, yeah, I can do this. I can sort out the back four. I can bring in. I can sort the midfield, no problem, and I can bring strikers in. But I can also do it with pace, with passing, with possession, with closing down, with plenty of pressing, plenty of guile, and, you know, passion, and wanting to play for the manager. And I think Ancelotti can do it. I think it would need time. I think it'd be interesting to see what he can do with a side that is struggling. It'd be interesting to see what he can do with. I was talking to my mates the other day over text, and I was like, I like Richarlison, but I'm disappointed in Richarlison. And he went, why? I went, because he's not Sadio Mane. I know Sadio Mane is one of the best players in the league, but I also think that's the player that he should be emulating. Not with the diving, but more with, you know, the tenacity, the breaking down, the less moaning, getting on with it, pushing defenders as far back as possible and causing an absolute mistake every time, and just being that irritant within a side. And I think Richarlison needs to do that a lot more for me. Great, I love the fact that he scores goals, but I think there's so much more to his game that he can bring. Need a centre midfielder and centre back in January. How can you win games with a shit spine? Yeah. Zuma, let's hope if Chelsea banners up. If Chelsea banners up, Zuma, Kessie and Jared Bowen in January. Good shout. Does Kurt Zuma come back in? Does Kurt Zuma want to come into a relegation battle? Because that's what we're in. It's a big question to ask him. He's starting for Chelsea. He's starting in the Champions League. Yeah, he's had a few mistakes in him, but I think that's just Kurt Zuma. You know, he's had that odd mistake for us as well. But I'd love Kurt Zuma back, but I think maybe that ship sailed now with Chelsea being where they are. Unless Chelsea are going out and buying a £40 million defender in January, then questions will probably be asked of Zuma and their back forward as well. So who knows? Knackered now. So going back to the side, I'm going to read it out again and I'm going to disappear because I'm going to go watch the match. So Jordan Pickford in goal. You're back 4, I suppose it's 4-4-2 as we said. Jibril Sidibe, Luca Dean, Michael Keane and Mason Holgate making back 4. Gylfi Sigurdsson as captain. Theo Walcott, Morgan Schneiderlin, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison and Alex Iwobi. And your substitutions are Stekelenburg, Leighton Baines, Cenk Tosun, Bernard, Tom Davis, Moise Keane and Oumar Niasse. Before I go then, predictions for the game then, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take anything at the moment. I'll take a point and I'll go for a draw. Love a win, which isn't beyond our means because we're more than capable of doing it. So I don't understand the connection with Vitor Pereira. Never stays at a job more than a couple of years. It was more to do with he was linked with Everton when I think he was the number 2 at the time when Martinez was being touted, and it was at the time where he literally won back-to-back leagues with Porto and won on the last day of the season against Benfica. So that was like sticking that to your rivals was just boss. So I think that's when everyone was like, hang on, this fella can do something here. But since then he's gone on and he's done very little in the way of actual, winning anything, and especially with the money that was probably available to him. I think he's had a bust up with the sheiks in Qatar. There was a boss interview where he was like, no, I'll tell you exactly how it is. Which I was all for. I'm happy for managers to just tell me that they were shit. The team was shite. No one was good enough, and we didn't deserve to win. But anyway, that's enough of that. Going back to results, I'm probably going to go 1-1. I think a draw is. Yeah, I'll be happy with a draw today. Everyone 1-0, 2-1, 2-1, 3-1. Niasse with at least 1. So it depends which way you're picking that, Alan. Okay, I'm going to get going. If you like this t-shirt as well, then give me a shout on Falcon Blues 1878. We'll be getting these out in the next couple of weeks, just in time for Christmas. Till then, make sure you're subscribing to the Grand Old Team thing. The subscribe button's there and the notification bell is here. And also follow me and Paul on Falcon Blues TV, which is our other channel. Obviously you know that we're all part of the Grand Old Team as well. Yeah, sound. I'll catch you in a bit. Up the toffees. See you later.